Hey everyone, Metris here. Today I'd like to share a quick announcement with you all. I'm releasing another EP. Unlike my previous EP, Existential Nostalgia, it's more of a spin-off EP if that makes any sense. So the likes of Soft Innocence and Falling in Reverse would be on here. I know it really is a shame, but we all have to live with it for the time being. Probably the biggest surprise of it all is that this EP is directly inspired by Animal Crossing. All of the music is inspired by the earlier works like Wild World and the GameCube original, up to the recent release of New Horizons. It is sort of random why I would just make an Animal Crossing EP, but there is a bit of a backstory to this. So one day in college we were setting up a sound desk, and two of my friends brought in guitars. So whilst they were playing the guitars, I thought of this guitar chord in my head, and I kept playing that guitar loop inside my head until I got back home, and instantly just got to work on FL to make a song around it. Once I implemented that chord loop in, I thought it sounded a bit like Animal Crossing, so I created other sounds and downloaded external ones online to fit in with that Animal Crossing vibe, and after a few days it was complete. I thought it actually sounded pretty good, and then I thought it was a pretty interesting experience, mainly because whilst it was still sort of chill like my previous work, it definitely had to be less EDM focused and more in line with how Animal Crossing songs usually sound, but I didn't mind that because I do love every Animal Crossing soundtrack. Definitely the hardest part of making the music was the fact that Animal Crossing songs, like most video game songs, always have to loop, and when I make my music I sort of make it like an adventure with like a beginning and an end, so it was difficult to do that, but I think I got the hang of it eventually. I mean, with one song in particular that does have a beginning and an end, but that makes sense, but with the other songs they do loop, but they do sort of have a conclusion to themselves as well. So they could be played in a video game, but externally, they do sort of have their own feel. With the earlier tracks I made, they were definitely more inspired by New Horizons, and I was scared the whole EP would just be inspired by that. So with the last few songs, I definitely took more inspiration to the likes of the GameCube original and Wild World, because they do have some bangers like 2 AM and Rainy Day, and I definitely wanted to take inspiration from that and put them into this EP. Personally, probably my favourite from the EP is 2 AM. Not because of Wild World's 2 AM, mind you, that is godly, but primarily because I love the transition. From earlier parts of the song, it's just a shaker, and then the second half of the song, but in the second half of the song, the accordion and kicking snare hit in. And I think that's like I think that's a pretty cool transition to do. And I think that's a pretty cool transition to do to show that the song is evolving. When making the EP, I know I wanted to focus on the midnight vibe of Animal Crossing, like 1 AM through 5 AM. For one, it's my favourite songs, and two, it's just a pretty cool atmospheric feel, and I wanted to invoke some of that. I wanted to end the EP with a KK Slider song, but in my own style. It was hard to get the sound fonts just right with KK Slider, but I think in the end I just about managed it, although I do have PTSD from his voice now, so that's great. The cover art for this EP was done by youngatart.ig, hopefully I got that right, and I gotta say, they did an amazing job with this. I love the summerish feel of it all, and plus they transitioned my avatar perfectly into the Animal Crossing world. That is such a cute touch. They truly are an amazing artist, and I'll link Instagram in the description below. Animal Crossing Sleepless Horizons will be releasing everywhere like Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, on the 23rd of December. I'll link the pre-order for this EP in the description below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Yes, my mic is